My dad died last week. Today I saw 2 obituaries for him. The ink on the newspaper page was still fresh enough to smudge against my thumb, leaving a dark, ghostly fingerprint right over my father's face. I sat at the kitchen table, the silence of the house pressing against my eardrums like deep water. It was Wednesday, January 28th. The funeral was scheduled for tomorrow. My mother was in the living room, staring at a wall she had been staring at for 5 days, surrounded by wilting casseroles and sympathy cards that all said the same hollow things about peace and better places. I smoothed the paper out. I had gone down to the corner store to buy 10 copies of the Gazette. It was a ritual. You buy the papers, you clip the obituary, you laminate one for the Bible and send the rest to relatives in Wisconsin who don't have the internet. I found his face on page B4. Robert James Miller, 1968 to 2026. It was a good photo. We had chosen it together 3 nights ago. He was wearing his favorite fishing hat, holding a bass he caught at the lake house. The text below it was standard. Robert passed away suddenly from a cardiac event. He is survived by his devoted wife of 30 years, Mary, his son, Daniel, that's me, and a legacy of kindness. I nodded, feeling the lump in my throat tighten. It was respectful. It was true. Then, my eyes drifted. Right next to it, literally sharing the black border line, was another photo. I blinked. I rubbed my eyes, thinking the lack of sleep was causing hallucinations. It was the same man, but in this photo, he wasn't wearing a fishing hat. He was wearing a tuxedo. He was raising a glass of champagne. He looked younger, tan, vibrant. I read the text under the second photo. Rob R.J. Miller, 1968 to 2026. R.J. left this world too soon, leaving a hole in the hearts of those who adored him. He was the soulmate and partner to Linda for 15 magical years, and the proud, doting father to his vibrant twins, Josh and Sarah, age 14. R.J. was a man of adventure, a regional sales director who worked tirelessly to provide. The room spun. I mean that literally. The kitchen tilted on its axis. I gripped the edge of the table, my fingernails digging into the cheap pine. Soulmate to Linda. Father to twins. 15 years. I looked at the dates. They matched. I looked at the employment history. Regional sales director. It matched. I looked at the town listed in the second obituary. Oak Creek. Oak Creek was 45 minutes away. It was the town my father commuted to 3 days a week for his job. He stayed there in a corporate apartment because the drive was too long to make twice a day. Or so he told us. For 15 years. I felt a heat rising in my neck that had nothing to do with grief. It was a prickly, violent heat. My vision went blurry with a rage so pure it felt like I had swallowed a lit match. Danny, Mom called from the living room. Her voice was thin, fragile. Did you get the papers? I looked at the 2 obituaries sitting side by side like landmines. I couldn't show her. Not yet. If I showed her this, it wouldn't just break her heart, it would stop it. Yeah, Mom, I choked out, folding the paper aggressively so only the Mary side showed. I got them. They look good. I stood up. I grabbed my car keys. Where are you going? She asked as I walked past the archway. The funeral home, I lied. Mr. Henderson needed to check on the flower arrangements. I'll be back in an hour. Okay, honey, drive safe. I walked out into the cold January air. I didn't drive to the funeral home immediately. I sat in my car and screamed. I screamed until my throat tasted like copper. My father wasn't a hero. He wasn't a legacy of kindness. He was a bigamist. He was a liar. And tomorrow, he was going to be put in the ground while 2 different families mourn a man who didn't exist. My father wasn't just a cheater. He was a thief. And the real twist isn't that he had 2 families. It's osmoting far beyond your imagination. Because what we find in his jacket pocket in the next 10 minutes changes this from a family drama into a federal crime scene. Click here to watch full video.